Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is finally Friday, March 21st, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today needs no introduction. He is an artist, he is a model, he is an actor, and I'm give it a sec. I don't know what is going on. What is going on today, Instagram? Okay, let me try something. There we are. Welcome.
Hey, 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 hey.
Welcome to the Dollhouse. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Yes, ma'am. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, yes. So before we kick off this interview, how has 2025 been for you so far?
Um, it's been good so far. It's been a blessing. Um, just trying to overcome some boundaries right now because as you can see, this is like I'm filming, so I'm currently filming right now, and I'm playing a prison guard brass fighter. So I haven't had a haircut in over 4 months. It's starting to kill me. So I came in 2025 looking like this. So
And we had that discussion yesterday, but you are a beautiful black man. And I've seen you in a lot of magazine publications. I've seen you all over from Remix, the series. You've been everywhere. So it's a part of the process for any actor when you're going through that period where it's just like, okay, I got to grow facial hair. I've had
yeah,
that happen. One of my guests actually came and did an interview with me while he was on the way to set. And he was like, you have to
yeah.
excuse me. And it's easier for you because you're a woman. Yeah, we do have it easy. Hair, makeup, everything. So it comes to us naturally. But I had to ask. So you're from Gaffney, you're from South Carolina, am I correct? Gaffney, South Carolina,
Oh,
right?
yes, ma'am. I'm from so technically kind of I'm everywhere in South Carolina. So I was born and raised in Spartanburg, lived in Gaffney, was raised in Gaffney. My parents is from Packlet, Jonesville Union area, but I came from Spartanburg. So I'm all open. So if you was to ask somebody, some people say I'm from Gaffney. Some people say he's from Spartanburg. Some people say he's from Packlet. That just gotta ask me. So I'm just from all over.
And I'm from the Carolina area too, so that's why I had to ask when you said South Carolina,
Oh
because I've
wow.
done my research and everything. I'm in South Carolina, I'm in Bamberg, South Carolina, and I have a brother that is in Charleston as well too. So I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Fort Jackson and Spartanburg, Myrtle Beach, all those
Oh
places. Yeah.
yeah. Wow. Wow. That's crazy because I just recently found out that Bamberg, James Brown is originally from there, not
Yep.
Augusta. I just found that out. That is crazy. That's crazy that you said that.
Godfather Soul, his house and everything, his family, all of that is down here in South Carolina. A lot
Yeah.
of talent comes around here,
Oh
from
yeah. Most
Viola Davis to
definitely.
Chadwick Boseman, of course, Charlemagne. God, it's a lot of them that have come from South Carolina. So yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm trying to be the next up. The
And you
next up.
you are well on your way. I'm so proud of you. You've, like I said, you've been everywhere,
Yes,
from
ma'am.
every magazine to all over our screens, from Still a Chance of Love, as I mentioned, Remix, the series. You've been everywhere.
Yes,
People are talking
yes, ma'am.
about you. And I believe it is no competition. And he's coming back on my show. It's Nelson J. Davis. You two are both taking over the Tubi
Oh yeah,
film world
most
by storm. He's in North
yeah, that's my
Carolina
guy. Much
and
love
lives
to
in
him.
South Carolina. Yeah, and I've had Nelson on several times. And that was going to be my first question for you. What do you believe is in the water down here in the Carolinas that makes the talent so hot? Because you got Nelson in North, and then you're in South Carolina. So what is it in the water down here?
I can truly tell you this. This has been going on like the talent in the South been here since the 70s. We can go all the way back. Like this is before this is James Brown. You know, this is the late great guy, rest his soul, Little Richard, you know, from Georgia, down south. You know, it was just a lot of people say we was always overlooked. We was always overlooked, but most of the talented people came from down south. If everything was invented from the south, believe it or not, like everything came from the south, and so it just crazy how we just elevate. We and the crazy part about it, it's still more talented people talented than me, Nelson himself. You know what I'm saying? I'm just grateful to be in the position that I am, just so I can open doors for somebody else. But it's also people that like some talented brothers and sisters here, like that just ain't been heard. You know, and that's always that's the thing, man. Like it's just getting them heard and like putting the South on the map. So everybody, so when people look at the South, it ain't just Hollywood, it ain't just New York, it ain't just Texas. Us down here, us down here, yeah, yeah, we make noise too.
Yes, yes, yes. And as I stated, you yourself are making a lot of noise. You act, you write, you're a musician, you model, you produce, and you're a dad as well too. It's all about finding that balance. So for you,
Yeah,
at what
absolutely.
age did you discover your passion and your craft? At what age and what instrument? Because I know growing up, a lot of artists getting into the business start playing a lot of instruments. If not that,
Yeah,
then hearing the sound of music. So what
yeah.
age for you was it that you
Um,
discovered the sound of music and
I'd
acting?
say what I'm a singer, so I can sing. So I started in church singing. And this was the age of 6. I started singing in church, and the talent, as far as acting, me imitating, I was doing it since I was 4. Like I still, they still show me videos of me how the way I am now, how the way I was doing years ago, and I was doing the same thing, so it was always in me. So it was just the right time to, you know what I'm saying, to find that okay, let me try this out instead of you always have your close friends telling you, yo, you should do this, yo, you should do this, yo, you should do this, and, and we get so in tune to what the atmosphere is, if that makes sense. So if the atmosphere is with me in particular, people around me, we all played football. So that type of talent was set to the side because all of us played football. So I grabbed the talent back and put it in my lap when I was done with football. Well, let me try. Okay, let me pick this up and try this back out. And it's working. It's working pretty good.
And look at you now. All over, you're acting, you're producing, you're writing, you're doing your music as well too. And it's all about balance. I'm so proud of you. When you sent me your reel and I reached out to you because I've been watching your work along with Nelson, like I see a lot of black talent that is coming up in the rise. What do you think about the rise of the next up and coming talent that is following in your footsteps and Nelson's and so many others? Because there's a lot of people out here that are getting into the acting business or the music business that are
Man,
doing things independently that are funding their own brands.
and listen to me. It's whew, jaw dropping because every year you always see something different, something amazing, and something great. It's always every year. So when new talent come out and they just elevating. I'm talking about elevating from, my idols, Idris Elba, Denzel Washington, Morris Chestnut, you know, I can go on and it just elevating. It's just getting better and better and I love it. I love it. And then plus it's like more like a ooh, all right, when I see somebody I'm like, okay, I gotta get back on my stuff. Okay, let me get my stuff together because whoo, this whoo, So it's just more like I love it. I love it.
And we talk about elevation a lot. For you, dreams. If every living moment is the right way to live life, how can we have a dream for tomorrow? How would you define that?
Hmm. Well, how the way I define it is, if you don't have a dream, why get up in the morning? Why get up in the morning? Everybody got to have a dream. Everybody has to have a goal, a dream. That's what that's life. That's what keeps us pushing. And it can be a big dream. It can be a small dream. Like the dream could be like, okay, my dream is to have $5,000 in my pocket. It's small, but it's a dream. It makes you get up and work for that $5,000. See what I'm saying? So dreams are very very important. And it just um I was talking to my brother about this. Us as men, and I'm gonna talk as men, talking to the brothers, and us as men, what we tend to forget is dreams. We forget childhood, how we was as a kid, cause we grow up. I get that. We grow up. We men. We got kids to take care of. We gotta go to work. We gotta, you gotta provide. I get that. But once you lose that innocence with your childhood, whatever made you have fun, whatever you dreamt about, once you lose that, it's gonna be hard for you to try to switch over because that's why it's more so a deep soul searching. You know what I'm saying? And I always preach that to a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't gotta be straight face or straight visit, man. Like, come on, have fun. Like, have fun, man. Just like you only get one life. You only get one life, and regardless of how crazy the dream may sound, go for it. Like go for it. You never know what you're gonna get out of it. Go for it. At least you can say, "I did it. I tried it." you know.
Absolutely. And I tell people this all the time: live life through fire, live life through passion. If it's something that sets your soul on fire, do it. Go after it, chase it. And nothing is impossible. Make it happen. You write your visions down. I create vision boards. And almost everything that I put onto my vision board, I do a mental checklist every day as I'm walking past it. And I'm like, okay, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. Now what else? For you, do you ever find that part where you're sitting and you're reflecting, like, okay, what is going to be the next chapter for me? Because as I said, and I keep saying it and I keep giving you your flowers, you're a man who wears so many hats. What is
Yeah.
next in the chapter? Do you always sit and find yourself reflecting, like, okay, what can I do next?
Well, as far as me reflecting on what I can do next, that's every day. That's truth to every hour, every second. Like that's the first thing to be on my mind. Even my wife have to tell me, "Baby, relax." You know what I'm saying? So, but as far as me looking ahead, I really don't know. I can't like I don't know what God got for me. I really don't. Only thing I can do is just keep walking in my footsteps, and have fun as I go. Ups and downs, still keep a smile on my face. Whatever comes, it comes. So uh,
Absolutely. Absolutely. What if the memories that we hold on to are even partially true or real? How would you define it? Because we always going back and looking in the past and the future and what we
hmm,
can do to expand in our lives and in our legacy. So for you, what if the memories that we hold are even partially true or real?
well, the memories. Um, I think the memories that I can truly say that's still real is it's just my confidence, my dream. Like
Mm,
I was discussing earlier. It's my dream. You know, my consistency, by my dream still being so active and so strong, the consistency is still there because the dream is so strong. You see what I'm saying? So that's always gonna be a reality to me. So I can always switch that over, and I can see it. Like I can literally see it from a blind man's eye to see what's about to happen. Okay, I see this about to happen. Okay, I see this about to happen. Like, oh shit, that's about to happen. Yeah, that type of deal.
And it's always these moments where we have, when we're actually sitting, I'm pretty sure you've had it too. It's like an epiphany where you're just like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. I need to pinch myself. Is this like deja vu? Is this really happening to me? Where
Yeah,
it's just like you have like an, I can't describe it. It's a feeling you can't describe it. There are no words for it. But you're having an out of body experience like, God, are you trying to tell me something? And we've lost family members, we've lost relatives, and he could be putting a message through something or someone that has happened in our life through them to get to you. They're not
yeah,
even there. The person is no longer on, but their spirit is there. And God is
absolutely.
sending a message through some sort of way. You could have gotten a job position or something and it'd be like, oh my God, I've wanted this. Or an
Yep,
act or a role for a film. And you're just like, I want this role so bad. I will do anything to get this role. I'm going to practice hard. I'm going to rehearse hard. I'm going to show up on time to rehearsals, everything. I want to make sure that I make that producer director know that I want this role. I want lead role. So then you get that call back. So God sends a message in some sort of mysterious way through that person to get to you. And again, it goes through that vessel. I had the same conversation yesterday with Conrad Johnston, and he does theater, stage plays as well too. And he was saying the first play that he saw was I can't remember. I think it was The Wiz. It was The Wiz. He said The
yeah,
Wiz was the first one that he saw. And growing up seeing black actors on television live and in color was for him to get out here and say, okay, this is something. So he puts a message through someone in some sort of way. So have you ever had an experience where it's just like, oh my God, can this be real?
yep, yep. Absolutely, absolutely. And God forbid, excuse me, but I want to say rest in peace to best friend of mine, which he committed suicide. Rajiv,
Sorry.
you know, yeah, no, it's fine, it's fine. It was, but thanks, but it's fine. But he was he committed suicide 3 years ago, and I tell everybody this, um, and I can say this with a straight face. He was the first best friend that I had. Didn't look at the football stuff I did, didn't look at none of that. He looked at me and said, you need to get on TV. He was the first person that told me that you need to get on TV. He was like, bro, you talented, you special. And Rob, he was an actor and he was a model and he was a recording artist. So we was together all the time. And he he's the reason why I got Remix, the series. It was because of him. He's the reason why I got it. Because when I had the audition, I didn't have a car. So when I had the audition in Atlanta, and this was back in 2010, 2010, that's when the Remix came out, 2010. I called him, yo, I got an audition for a Remix. He said, where is it? I said, it's in Atlanta on Peachtree. And he was like, oh, he was at work. He was at work. I was at work. And I was like, bro, I really need to get down there. So what I did was I faked sick. Yeah, I faked like I was sick. So I went to the bathroom until like I threw up so I can get off. I went home. Forgive me, supervisor. Now you know the story now if you see this. But so I played sick and went home. He got off work. He said that he had to he sacrificed his job to get me to Atlanta, and I got the role. And I always thankful for that. Always thought for that. And it's just crazy. And when you say, you know what I'm saying, like sending messages because he's been gone. God forbid he's been gone for 3 years. And the day he passed away, the day I got that phone call, he passed away after the funeral and all that. It's like a whole bunch of stuff opened up for me. So it's it. So by you saying that, yes, it's real. it's very real. It's very real because spiritually, and I've been doing some spiritual stuff because that kind of did something to me when my best friend died. So I've been doing some spiritual stuff, and I noticed when I was driving on the highway, it was an owl. It's one owl. It followed me. It followed my car. Like every stop sign. When I got to the stop sign, it stopped. I kept on moving. It kept flying. It stopped. I just kept looking at it. I'm like, what? What? And, I'm scared of owls. You don't see owls like that. I'm like, what? So I looked it up. I had to do my homework on it
See?
spiritually. So, and it tells me that there's a change, there's a message that there's a major change is about to happen in my life. So I definitely believe. I definitely believe. Yeah.
It is real. And the Bible talks about the ram in the bush. My mother was telling me about that because my mother, I remember she had to have an operation on her lower back spine, and I had to take care of her, help her back, help her walk up and down the stairs, everything. And she was saying my child was the ram in the bush. She was talking to somebody in the store. It was one of her classmates that she went to school with.
Yeah.
And she was saying that Stevie is like the ram in the bush. This child has helped me through and throughout. Yes, I've had to fix her food, everything.
Mm.
Like I understand the pain that she was going through. Another example was yesterday. I have a toy poodle, so my baby had to get some teeth removed, 17 teeth taken out that were loose. And I was like, is she going to be okay? Is she going to be okay? I couldn't even really focus or do my interview yesterday, but I had to just take my mind off of it. I don't know what Conrad did, but the conversation was so good yesterday, it took my mind off of it. And my father brought her back. She's okay, walking, barking. So that's the power of God.
Yeah.
If God can work through an animal to send a message to you, that's true. That's real.
Amen.
That's deep.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Absolutely. So I'm a firm believer of that, the subconscious as well as the conscious side, or what I like to say in my eye, which is like a glass eye, and having that vision that God is putting something there for you or giving you a sign. Because see, He gives you a sign in mysterious ways. And you could be in a dangerous situation, like in your car, you know.
Mhm.
I've seen people say, I survived this car accident
Mhm.
and I came out without a scratch. Everything else is okay. Everybody's like, well, what about the car? No, don't worry about the car. Is the person okay? I'm okay. I'm still alive. I didn't get hurt or nothing. I came out okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's
Amen.
the
Yep.
power of that.
Yep.
That's real.
Absolutely. Yep.
And
Absolutely.
that brings me to my next question I wanted to ask you is, when do you feel like you are finding the meaning in your life? When was that moment for you? You felt like, okay, I found my meaning and my purpose.
Matter of fact, I can give you exact time, day, and where I was at. I remember it. It was 2016 at my grandmother's house, and I was working out. That's when I realized my meaning. Because once again, I had to do some deep soul search. And when I say, like, don't forget your innocence, your, you know, your childhood, what makes you glow, what makes Marcus Marcus. I had to do so, and I'm a talking third person. But what I had to do was I had to go back soul searching, cry some tears. Lord have mercy, I cried some tears, and I had to go back. I had to pick my innocence. He was tripped over a rock crying. Me at the age of 13, I was looking at myself. I picked him up. He looked at me and was like, what took you so long? I had to bring him back to 2016. But when I brought him back to 2016, like it just, and I felt it. If that makes sense, I felt it. I'm like, oh, there he go, there he is. So by me having my kids and how do I interact with my kids, it's because of him. It's because I'm talking in third person. So if I'm confusing y'all, just know I'm talking in third person. I'm talking about my innocent, the
Yeah.
child, the child me. I had to bring him to 2015 because I left him and I kept moving without him. And when I kept moving without him, my smile went away. If that makes sense. My smile went away. So you can see a whole bunch of pictures of me with no smile compared to if you was to see a picture of me now. You see the difference in the two. And I know I'm going a little too deep, but it's the difference. Like you can see a difference in if you take a 2010 picture that I took, 2011, 12, all the way up to 15, compared to 2016 to now. You'll see the difference in the two. Excuse
No
me. But you'll see the
wonder
difference.
why you was I always wondered why but I mean you made it sexy though. It was like a
Yeah.
scowl. It
Yep.
was like a scowl in a way. It was
Yep.
like a mysterious. I've always wondered, and it's always a story. Photos tell a story about someone's
Mm-hmm.
life, what they've been through. And it's important that we sit down and have these conversations, these deep conversations with
Yep.
people so that they tell their story and they tell their story because it could have been someone who could have been through the same thing that you went through where they tripped and they're just like, okay, God, this can't be real.
Yep.
And I remember a friend of mine being in a car accident and just like, okay, what's next, God? This can't be it. This can't be the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, you pick yourself up. This it's not time yet. God will let you know when it's time to come home. But right
Absolutely.
now it's not your time because each and every one of us have a purpose. And my grandmother, who is in my life, I'm so thankful for this woman, her and my mom. She's 80 years old. And I like to say that she's 80 going on 30. She has my spirit. I'm
Oh wow.
31.
That's not
So
good. That's a blessing.
80 going on 30.
That's
And
a
my grandmother watches some of my interviews and she's just like, you have a calling. You have a purpose. Keep doing what you're doing. God is using you. He has what our parents would always say, God has his hand on you, that he has his
blessing.
anointing on you. And it's important that we use our purpose. So if your purpose is to go out here and to tell stories, tell that story because you never know whose life it could be saving in the end result.
Absolutely. 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 And that's why I always try to preach that to enhance that part. And don't whatever you do, don't lose the other side of you. Because it can get taken it can get snatched away from you quicker than
Oh
anything. And
yeah.
a lot of people don't realize it. A lot of people won't realize it. And it just it, it's gone.
And
And you don't
that's
realize it's gone until you start looking at yourself. And nowadays, a lot of people, tend not to do that. Like, don't want to go that deep. They just still walk, still, they just still move along. So
and the part that gets me is you have to tap into that. We've talked about stillness and practicing the art of stillness and being still and present and in the moment. Sometimes you have to sit and reflect. Every morning I get up, I do two things, and that's affirmations
mhm,
and I have my conversation with God, and I pray before every interview. I do what's called the warrior's prayer. God, I put on the shield of armor so that it protects me from everything that the devil is throwing at me.
mhm,
Anybody that's negative, anything that is negative that is like a poison, your shield is up to protect me. When we say that God is covering you, he is covering you. And we know that we're divinely protected because you lost your friend. I lost my
mm.
sister in 2018.
I'm so
And I
sorry.
know that
Yeah.
she's still watching somewhere over me because I remember good things happening. At that point, being very dark for me and my mom. Every year, June 29th rolls around, which is her birthday.
Yeah.
June 29th, 1986 is her birthday. Uh, it was difficult when holidays come as well too. How do we celebrate that? We don't celebrate. You don't smile someone's passing, but it's just like no, she's a happy person. She would
Mm-hmm.
want you to live and keep living. She would want you
Absolutely.
to keep breathing, keep thriving, keep going. And there's certain little things that remind me of her. Like we were big, she would invite me over because her and her boyfriend at the time, she's like, come do my makeup. So I kept her brushes and her pillow. She had these beautiful rose in the shape of a rose pillows
Yeah.
that had like the rose petals on the front of them. And I kept them. They're sentimental to me Those are the values the day we were cleaning out her apartment. And it's just like certain things when we would go in the store, certain snacks she would have. Like she loved, you guys know the payday candy bars.
Yeah.
She would love those. So I can't look at one without saying she would eat this.
Oh
So it's
wow.
those little things that are sentimental to us that remind us of this person. And God could put a good luck charm right there in your life for you. That token, that stone could be there right there. The token and stone for me was getting to be able to write for Original Magazine UK as one of the fashion publishers in that magazine. And I remember when the owner, the CEO, she reached out to me. She seen one of my posts here on Instagram, and it
Mm-hmm.
was a fashion post. I think it was on Gabrielle Union somebody. And she said, "Oh, I love what you're doing." She messaged me, she reached out to me, and I just looked up like, "You're trying to tell me something, aren't you, God?"
Yeah.
So you have those
Yep.
moments where it's just like it gives you a nudge or a tap on the shoulder, like, "Hey, this is me tapping in,
Yeah.
phoning home to let you know I'm watching over you." So God puts his angels over you to watch over you. He might not be there all the time, but he's there watching.
Yep.
Trust and believe that.
Yep.
And
Absolutely. Amen to that. Amen to that. Amen to that.
it's the blessings that keep coming through these people that we have lost in our lives that are the vessels there.
Absolutely.
And they might not be there, but their energy, their life, everything, it comes through us. So I might not be able to be my sister. And I told my mom this, I can't replace her. She is my sister, yes. I can't replace her, but
Mm-hmm.
I know she lives on through me. I know she lives on through my brothers. I have four brothers, and two of them she was very, very close to, as well as myself. We were close as well. We all had an individual relationship. Two sisters, and I have four brothers, but she was close to him. And it's just like those little things. Everybody's relationship is personal to them because they remember
Yeah.
something about that person. Which brings me
Absolutely.
to the next portion of our conversation, legacy. Because you model, you act, you do it all, and you're a dad. So we talk a lot about legacy. And I had the same discussion with Conrad yesterday because he has a daughter. I said,
Yes.
what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want your legacy to be? So that same question applies to you, Marcus. So I'm pretty sure you look back on your life and reflect and just think like, hmm, I've done this, I've done this. What is next in this chapter in the end? Because sometimes, you don't know what to expect because God can say when it's time to come home, it's
I'm
time to come home.
I'm
There ain't
home.
nothing you can do
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
That's out of your control.
Yep. Yep.
But for
But
you, what do you want your
me,
legacy to be remembered for?
like man, I always say this every day. I wake up in the morning and say this, lunchtime and at night. Baby, the whole world gonna know who Marcus Middleton is. They gonna know where this country boy came from, and they gonna know what this country boy stood on. Like how Little Richard said, I'm about to be bigger than Cleopatra. You remember on James Brown, Get On Up?
Yes,
I'm trying. I say it's written in the stars. That's why I say it's written in the stars. And but as far as the legacy goes, is I just want everybody to know my work, my craft, know what I put in and know what
yes,
I went through to get here. That's the number one thing. Know what I went through to get here. Don't look at what I did. Look at what I had to do to get here. That's the key. Look at what I went through to get here. Don't look at the success part. That's why, and I told them because success, making a movie, being in a magazine, trust me, it's a plus extra credit. But what people don't leave out, and what the people leave out, they leave out the ins and outs on what you had to do to get there. Show these people what you did to get there, and I want people to see what I did to get there. Show them. Don't just show. Okay, you got a Ferrari sitting outside. Show them the ins and outs what you had to do to get there, because maybe he wanted too, and he may be young, and he's sitting there saying the same thing. I want a Ferrari like that too, and then because I ask my son right now, my oldest son, and and I ask him all the time how the way I am with him. I'm stern with him, but I love him, and it's reasons why I'm stern with him. Why? Because he's the oldest. He's the oldest of my little girl and my little boy. So God be, if something happened to me or my wife, you got to be there. Because it's going to be hard, but you're going to have to be there. But I ask my son all the time. He be like, Dad, I want to be like you. I want to play college football like you. Okay, that's cool. I'm glad you want to play college football. But let me ask you something. Why you want to play college football? Because everybody knows your name. Everybody knows your name. And I'll be like, so you want to play college football because everybody knows my name? Well, no, not. Then he be like, then change. You know how kids do. No, no, not because everybody know your name, but everybody say, I know I can be good like you or this, that, and third. And I always tell them, don't be good like me. Be better than me. But let me show you what I did to get there. And I showed them. And I showed them. And I told him, you going to decide on if you want to do it or not. He decided he wanted to do it. He went through it, and he still go through it every day. So he decided he wanted to do it. So he knows. You see what I'm saying? So he knows what it takes to get there. That's all I'm saying. So when it comes down to my legacy, when people watch me and they be like, yo, he was a great actor, he was a great model, or this, that, and the third, trust me, and this coming from me. I appreciate everybody from the bottom of my heart. But dig deep. Look at what I did to get there. That's all I want. Look at what I did. I want y'all to know where I came from. Not just everybody knowing Marcus Middleton. Know where I came from. Just like with Chadwick Boseman and like the question that you asked in the beginning. How you feel
Yeah.
about down south? Know where I came from. That's why I said the success is there, but know where I came from. That's my legacy. That's all I want. That's all I want to get out. Know what I had to do to get here.
I love what you just said. And that comes from a sense of being humble, never forgetting where you came from. And my grandmother would tell me this too. She said, don't get too big. Put God first in everything that you do, because just as sure as you have it today, you can lose it tomorrow. And you see
Yep.
a lot of these shows that say, where are they now? With a lot of celebrities, a
Yep.
lot of famous people. And it's because they didn't really invest into it.
Yep.
So it's important that we take the time, remember where we came from.
Yep.
And yes,
Absolutely.
I dress like a supermodel. I'm glamorous. I'm beautiful. I'm all of these things.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I don't forget where I came from. I will always be that down to earth girl from South Carolina. And that's
Absolutely.
why I think a lot of people feel comfortable with interviewing with me and sitting with me, because I don't forget where I came from. And I make it personable. I don't act snotty. I don't act as if I'm above or beyond, because God can truly humble you in the process. And then
Real quick.
something happen and you just, or it couldn't affect you directly, but it could affect you indirectly, and it'll go to your family members. You see, karma comes around full circle.
Straight.
So that's why I say humble yourself, and that goes along with what Marcus just said, which
Yep.
is never forgetting where you came from. And I've always been that way. Even when I run into classmates that I went to school with, they're just like, you still look the same, you still have the same mindset, you still stand on principle. And a friend of mine, shout outs to Jessica, because that was my sister's name also too, Jessica
Right.
Samuels, shout outs to her. I ran into her in the store one day, and she was like, why are you going so hard on Trump and Kevin Samuels? Girl, what is going on? And we was just joking. She said, girl, you was reading him down, you was tearing him up, because he made me so mad, Marcus. But I said, girl, you know how I am. I don't bite my tongue for nobody. I'm a Scorpio. So
I
if
be
it pertains to
trying my
standing
best.
up
Yeah.
for Black people, I'm always going to be vocal. I'm always going to be at the forefront. That's what I was telling her. And it's just like, girl, I love you for that. You haven't changed a bit. You are still the same.
Yep.
And that's what a lot of people need, is that one friend in their life that's going to remind them, that give them that tap on the
Yep.
shoulder. Or what everybody's saying now, Marcus, is, oh, that's my accountability partner. And I remember I did an interview with Hope Ellis. Hope Ellis, she's a single mom. She's coming
Yeah.
back for a Girl Talk panel. It's going to be myself and three other women as well too.
Oh wow.
And she said, I told her, I said, girl, you need to take a trip. You're raising boys. Get those boys to go over there to help your mom out. Take a day
Ooh,
out with your girls. Go out and have a moment for yourself and
that's
take time for yourself. And
yeah.
she was just
Yeah.
like, you're going to be my accountability partner. I said, don't worry. I'll remind
Yeah.
you when you need a
Yeah.
vacation.
Every, every,
Because she acts. does music just like yourself, and she models as well too. And I was telling her, I said, take time for yourself. So that was going to be my next question for you. Aside from being an actor, a businessman, a dad, how does Marcus define self-care? How do you define self-care for yourself?
Gym. That's all I can say. The gym. That's my peace of mind. That's my peace. That just I go to the gym. So if I'm not going to the gym, I'm in my man cave, which well, that's where we are now. In my man cave watching my favorite actors, like Idris Elba, or like, and I'm the type of guy. Don't like don't laugh at me. I'm the type of guy. If I got a favorite movie, I will watch it 20 times a day. Like literally, I just watch it and I just look and I just be looking at crafts. I be looking like I just be looking, and people be like, "You watch the movie all the time?" So I'm like, "So," like so. It's just the gym. That's my peace of mind. And sometimes I just sit in the dark and just have the music playing, and I get that from my mother, like, and the first song that I play is Mary J. Blige, "Share My World." I get that from mom. I get that from mom. It just like I said, it goes back to like I said, the child in me. What I remember, sitting on the couch with my feet kicking in the air while my mama cleaning up, listening to "Share My World," and she's sitting there singing it. I'm like, I remember it. I just remember it. So sometimes I just sit here and just start the 90s, and that's the first song come on, and it just keep going. Grab me a drink or two, and I just sit there with my eyes closed and do this. That's what I do. Yep.
Those are moments of self-care. That is taking time for yourself
Yeah.
and investing. Hi, Christy. Hi, Pure Lux Salon. Make sure you guys go and check out Pure Lux Salon, black owned. And for my ladies, go get your brows, get your hair colored, get silk press, whatever you need. She's got it. So y'all, please go and check out Pure Lux Salon. Hi, Tit for Tat. I'm glad you guys are engaged and enjoying the conversation. It's about self-care. That's what it's about. It's about self-care and taking time for
Absolutely.
yourself. And not just that, but loving yourself. So that was going to be my next question for you. Is loving yourself enough a recipe for a happy life? Do you feel it's a recipe for a
Man,
happy
listen
life?
to me. Loving yourself is the
Mm,
first one. That's rule number one. Let's just start there. That's rule number one. Because if you don't love yourself, how you gonna give it to somebody else? If you don't if you don't love yourself, how do you expect to go through life
mm,
thinking
mm.
everything's gonna be all right? No, it don't work like that. You have to love yourself. Because God knows I love me some me. Like Terrell Owens say, I love me some me. You know, I wake up every day blessed. You have to love yourself, man. Like, and then if you and you got some people out there that's probably going through their things. So and I encourage you to go get some help. Like, get some help because that's in the Bible, man. That's rule number one. Love yourself. Love yourself. You have to.
Absolutely. And it's key.
Yep.
My colleague Bubs the God says that all the time too. Everything that's going on in the world, it's important that we, as Black people, we love ourselves and pour into ourselves because there's so much with mental health. We suffer from anxiety, depression, and
Yep.
we've seen what it done to some of the biggest names in the business.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
One of my favorite singers, I'm a big Whitney Houston fan. And I believe that going behind the scenes, seeing what this woman has encountered, press, tabloids, everything. Another would be Michael Jackson. Another
Mm.
would be Prince. Another would be Selena. We've lost so many of our music giants to what feels as though Phyllis Hyman would be the main one also too,
Yep.
because she took her own life, battling with depression, battling with these things. And it's just like, sometimes we feel like these demons, these dark demons are just trying to bring us down. And my mother, she always told me, never let these dark demons get inside your head to say, hey, we're going to make it worse for you. We're going to make it a bad day. No, you got to fight against it
Absolutely.
because it's always something greater and darker. What's going on now is what we're seeing now, which is that dark cloud. And I know everybody feels despair. They feel empty. They
Yeah.
feel lonely. And you can have 10,000 people around you and you can still find yourself feeling lonely at the end of the day.
Oh yeah,
So
most
it's
definitely.
important that we stay grounded, we stay centered, and love on ourselves and pour into ourselves. The way Marcus does his self care, he works out, he listens to music. Me, I'm the complete opposite. I like to shop. I like to get my hair done. I like to get my nails done. I love to get my makeup done.
Yeah,
And I talk to my mom. I talk to my girlfriends. I talk to my family. That's what keeps me centered and grounded as well. As I love to read. I love to read. I'm always in a book. I'm always reading a book, always staying informed. It's therapeutic. Writing is therapeutic too. And so when 2025 hit, a lot of people said, I'm going to go and get me a gratitude journal. I'm going to go and start writing down. Write that down. Whatever you're feeling, write it down. Don't harbor it in because, as Marcus just said, we've been taught to keep it to ourselves,
mm-hmm.
keep it. But if it's causing
Yep,
you pain, talk about it. Vent,
yep,
put it in a song, put it in your craft. And it's
absolutely,
significant that we continue to do that. Is for actors out here. Actors say, okay, I've been through this dark period. I'm going to use this to help me for this role right here. And they use it for that
absolutely,
role.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep,
Whitney, my favorite. I'm with Marcus. It's the gym for me. You two tit for tat.
yep,
It's it's therapeutic. It's something about clearing your head, taking a
yep.
walk, and
And that's
going
my
outside with
favorite.
nature.
Yeah. This is my favorite guy. This is my
Tupac.
favorite guy. Yes, my favorite. This is my. I don't. I idolized him since I was 5. I cried when he died. When I think I was 10 when he died. I cried when he died. Yeah, like I idolized him. And you said Selena.
Love Selena. Oh, yes. And she was so beautiful. This is, and
Yes,
I know she battled with demons
yeah,
too. I
she
know
did.
she battled with
Yep,
demons.
she did. I personally know her brother AB. I personally know him. Good, he's a good guy, real good guy. And
And her sister Claudette.
yeah,
Yeah.
never met her. I never met her, but I met AB, and I supposed to meet Chris, her husband, but it never worked out. So, but I met AB. He cool, man, down to earth. That's a he's a. I highly recommend you to interview him if you can, cause
Yes.
he has a lot to say. He has a lot to say. Cool,
And they
good people.
loved her.
I told him I was gonna say it. Most definitely, most definitely. But this
And
is my
again,
guy.
you can be the most beautiful person in the world. And you can have 10,000 people around you. And you just have to weed out who's there for me genuinely. And that's the same for Tupac. That's the same for Tupac. It was just like at one point, if you watched his film, the story about his life, it's like
Mm-hmm.
who's for me, in life
But
we have to pick out those type of people.
but but if you highlight on what you just said, and that's what I was speaking on about legacy. He's the prime
Yeah.
example of legacy. Because not only we know Tupac because I get around, poetic justice. We saw what he went through. We saw the
Yeah.
inside. We saw where he was from. You see, we saw like we saw it. So I can't say I can. He kind of inspired me to keep that. Keep that with me. Just to go through, just to sit there and watch him. Like Tupac makes you feel like a Phineas Shakur and Aunt Glow on Tupac Aunt. He makes you feel like that's your mama too. Like that's how you make you feel. That's my moment too. So, yep, that's
And
how I feel.
he was so personable, Marcus. Like he was relatable,
Yeah,
socially construct. He was aware to what was going on, and he put it in his music. So that's powerful when you're able to put whatever you're going through, your environment, everything that you're witnessing growing up into your music, and you're using this as a tool. And that, again, it goes back to that relatability factor where you are relatable to people. You put on a song, and a song you mentioned Mary, so
yep,
that's why my face lit up when you said Mary. For the album that did it for me was the My Life album because she sings from a place of pain. She sings from
yeah.
a place of heartache. It's about love. It's about loss. It's about being happy. All of these different chapters
Yep.
and
You're right.
versions of her on that album.
Yeah, see, in my life, see, my life, I can't. I don't say I can't listen to my life because it's too sad for me. I can't, I said, Mary, I can't do this with you right now. Not right now. But to share my world, it's the same thing for what I've been saying. Let me show you what I've been going through. Let me
Right.
show you this. So I love that whole Share My World album. Good God, that's number one in my book. They Share My
It's
World
Share My
album.
World 411 and in my life for me because it's personal. It's just like she's witnessed loss. She's battled
Mm-hmm.
all of these things. And it's just like, how do I reinvent myself? And then finally, the last song on that album is Be Happy. So
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, we went through all of this. We went through the live. We went through falling in love. We went through losing love. And then the last song on that album turns out to Be Happy. So it's like, even in life, we go through certain chapters.
Is
It's
that
multifaceted.
hold on?
Yeah.
It's My Life. It does that have the song on there with Mary J. Blige and Beyonce?
Yes,
That so
it's My Life
that is
Chapter 2, The Journey Continues. She did the
okay.
first one, which came out in 94, and then the second one,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
My
My
Life
Life.
2, The Journey
That,
Continues.
that's
Love
the
a
one
Woman.
yeah.
Love a
Yeah,
Woman.
that's the
That's
one
chapter
that's
2.
the one that sounds too depressing. That one I was like, I can't do this with you right now, Mary. That one. That's what it is. Yep, you're right.
But the
You was absolutely
first one, she's
correct.
got you hear the intro
Yeah.
with Puffy and her on the on and talking on the phone and then going through, and then she starts off with Mary Jane, and then through the last chapter is Be Happy, which I hear that song on the radio every single time. So it's just like, okay, be happy. And it goes back to what you said, which is life is too short. Life is
Mm-hmm.
too short in an instant. And it is
Absolutely.
important that we live to our full ability, to our capability, find our purpose and our reason for living. And that's my next question. We talk about pain, we talk about loss. Is pain really inevitable or our individual decisions that put us in misery? What do you feel?
I want to say the individual, that you put yourself through misery. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like pain, because pain is always and forever will be temporary. It comes and it goes. You know, it may be there for a minute, may be there for a day, may be there for a week, may be there for 3 days, but it goes away. You know, so misery, misery, that's more self. That's how the way I feel. It's more self because me as a man, how the way I am, I can't I can't feel misery. I would not allow myself to feel misery. So that's self. So I can't be miserable because somebody else did it to me or because you know like I can't be miserable and that's all self. And me, I always been prime example. I'm gonna use this. A firefighter. Let's use a firefighter, right? A firefighter, first rule, if a house is burning down, kids in them is in the house fighting, they gotta save them. You get a phone call. Hey, Middleton, your mother just passed away. Do I cry or do I save these people? Do I stop what I'm doing and be miserable because my mama died, then they died, then now I'm more miserable? Or this guy's calling from my mama, okay, let me get these people out of this house and let me keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Then when you get there, and then and once again, it boils down to like how you were saying, for example, with your sister. Like and once again, sorry for the loss.
thank you.
Like how you were saying with your sister, like she wouldn't want you to be sad. She would want you to be smiling. So how can you be miserable? Yeah, we gonna miss him, but if she was here, if he was here, or he wouldn't want you to look like that. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's more self. It's more self. It's self. Misery is more self than anything to me. That's just my opinion. Everybody else got, saying got their own opinions, but it just That's how the way I look at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we sometimes are hard on ourselves, beat ourselves up. At one point, I couldn't even watch my interview. Pure Luck Salon, who always tunes in on the daily, she'll tell you, she's there, she can vouch for this. I said, I couldn't even watch my interviews at one point because I would critique myself so harshly. I would go
Mm-hmm.
back and I would pick out something and it'd just be my brother K Tukes or anybody else would tap me and be like, you're tripping, you did good. But when you're a perfectionist, when you are an artist, you are a
Mm-hmm.
perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
You I remember Erica Badu saying this on stage and it was so funny and tickled me. She said, I'm sensitive about my shit. I'm sensitive about my music. And she had the incense going and everything because Erica would
Yeah.
give you a whole performance. And
Mm-hmm.
she said, I'm sensitive about this now. So any artist or anybody that is a creative, and Marcus, I'm pretty sure you understand it too as an actor, as an
Absolutely.
artist yourself,
Yep.
we are perfectionists. We are consummate perfectionists. So everything has to be perfect because for the critics, the viewers out there, they will find that little one thing to pick out and say, oh, well, I didn't like this. This could have been this. And then you getting a bad
Yep.
review and stuff. It has to be perfect for the consumer. And even I've learned that in the fashion industry, that everything is about beauty. Everything is about glamour. It has to look like, okay, the cover of Cosmopolitan, the cover of Vogue. It has to look beautiful. And
Absolutely.
every single interview, I'm just like, okay, I could have did something a little bit better. I find the little things, little weeds, and it's just like, no, you did great. So keep those people in your corner that will remind you constantly, that will uplift you. But now I'm at a point in my life where I am open to receive constructive criticism because at that point in my life, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I would be so on the defensive end and I'd be ready to just go off about the most
Yeah.
smallest things. And I'm thankful that my brother K Tukes and others have reminded me, like, girl, you're doing good. Keep doing it. Keep going. Now I can sit back and I can watch my interviews full and I can just laugh at certain things. Like, what was I thinking when I put that on? What I mean, I've worn all sorts of hair colors, lipsticks, everything, and I would go back and watch, and I'm just like, what was I thinking? But I wouldn't critique myself harshly. So it's great to laugh at yourself, to live with yourself, and be confident about yourself, which goes back to what we just talked about: self-love,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
not beating yourself
Absolutely.
up. That's where
Absolutely.
the misery and pain comes from because
Yeah.
you're beating up on yourself. You're inflicting pain on yourself. Stop it.
Yeah.
You're great. You're perfect and you're divine in your own light.
Yep.
So stop beating yourself up. You're unique. You are enough. You are whole. And those are one of the
Absolutely.
affirmations that I say to myself every morning when I get up is you are whole enough. You are divinely protected by love. So just a reminder, make sure that you are doing that, encouraging yourself along the way. And that brings me to my next part of the conversation. Before we get to the women, because March is International Women's Month, and I want to know what are five adjectives that Marcus will use to describe the women in his life, from his wife, his daughters, everything. We'll get into that. But what is the best way that we can put our entire potential into use? What advice would you give to somebody to put that potential into use?
Hmm. They prayed up.
Yes.
They prayed up. Um, and just keep going. See, I'm a little different. I'm a little different because when it comes down to my movies and stuff, like, damn, God, like, my wife can tell you, the movie comes out or a TV show come out, I watch it one time and that's it. I don't watch it no more. But I can watch my favorite actors 20 times, but my movies, I only watch it one time and that's it. I look at my wife and say, what you think? She tell me I did good, or she'll be like, when she say, then I know. But me, I don't beat up on myself or me getting mad at trying to clap back on what they saw. It just
Oh yeah.
inspires me to push me. Okay, oh you ain't like that? Okay. But watch this next movie though. That's how I am. And then I come out like Denzel Washington. You see what I'm saying? So I love that. I love the type of criticism, but just stay prayed up, man, and just keep going. Like, and don't look back. And like I tell a lot of people that keep going and don't look back. Whatever you do, don't look back. Just keep going. Keep going Because 9 times out of 10, you got people that's in your life for a reason. You got people in your life for a season. So, you know, and the hand will show itself sooner than you think.
Help us.
And I'll be trying to tell people, yep, man, I'll be trying to tell people, and I say when it comes down to people that you just meet or that you just talk to, and I had to tell people, sometimes just be quiet, let that other person talk, let them talk. I said, if you hear a 10-minute conversation of the person that you're talking to, you know what type of guy or girl that you're dealing with, and it's up to you if you want to deal with them or not. But you can't sit there and say, I didn't know that he would. I didn't know she would. Mm-mm. You sat there and heard that woman talk. You knew. You just ignored it. That's how the way I am. Yep. I was brought up like that, and I get that from my grandma. Yep. I get it from my grandma.
That's that self-preservation, self-accountability,
Yeah.
reflecting. Again, you know your instinct, your intuition. And you said your
Mm-hmm.
grandmother, which
Yep.
brings me to the next portion. The women. March is International Women's History Month, celebrating us, our achievements in the world, and so much in a time where they're trying to erase Black people's existence, where a time where they're trying to erase women's. I want to make sure that everybody gets their flowers. So, Marcus, for you, how significant and what are 5 things that you would use or adjectives to describe the women in your life?
Beautiful,
Yes.
nurturing, world, ocean, pure. Those five.
And growing up in a house full of, and growing up in, as a Black woman myself, growing up as a Black woman and being surrounded by my grandmother and my mom, seeing them with that one thing you just said, and I said this yesterday to Conrad. Conrad said that it was one of his answers too. Nurturing. Our mothers are nurturing,
Yes.
but they also will give you the back of their palm if they need to. They burn your bottom up. And growing up in the Black household, you know. So
Yep.
and I told the story yesterday about my brother getting in trouble at school and my mom bringing us home. And I'm standing there, I'm getting out the car too. He tried to run past me and went straight to shot towards the mailbox. She was like, I'm gonna tell your daddy. So you know if your mother in the black household says, I'm gonna tell your father,
Yeah.
you know you in trouble.
Yeah.
She's
You
like,
know.
I'm not gonna chase you. I'm gonna wait till your daddy get home because my dad was a truck driver. He also served in the Marines
Oh,
as well too. So he ruled like a drill sergeant with us growing up. Now he has a family of his own. I have a nephew who's on his way to two
okay.
years old,
Oh, wow.
and my brother just recently got married. So
Okay.
I have a sister-in-law. I'm excited. But it just goes to show you that these little things that we have been taught growing up
Mm-hmm.
help mold us into the adults that we are today. And I see the comparisons now of my mom being a nurturer. And I think I get my nurturing spirit from my mom. I think I get my warrior-esque, fighting, wanting a challenge spirit from my father. So it's a little bit of both. And each
Yes.
characteristic of us, we inherit the traits of our parents. And it's just like you find yourself doing the same things that your parents would do. And I'll catch myself like, wait a minute now. Why am I doing this? This is something my mom would do. And then a friend will walk up to you and say, girl, you look just like your mama.
Yep.
Or they'll say, child, you look just like your mama. We get it
Yep.
all the time. Or my grandmother would even check me and say, you know what? You're just like your mother. Because my mother's a Libra, and Libras sometimes are very stubborn. She does not listen. She walks to the beat of her own drum. And that is something that I get from my mother. I go at my own beat of my own drum. That's how she raised me and my brothers and my sister to be, which is to follow your heart, follow the sound of your heart. And if it doesn't feel right, don't do it.
Absolutely.
Follow that gut instinct. But sometimes, even in our adult years, we will hear the words of our parents ring in the back of our ears, like, but we don't want to go and tell them we told them so because we grown. So they'll
Yep.
remind you, they'll tell you something, and they'll just be like, we're sitting there by ourselves, and it's like, they told us.
Yep.
My mother told me this would
Yep.
happen. She was right. We don't want to go back and tell them because of the
Yep.
pride. We're in our adult years, like we grown,
Yep.
you can't tell us nothing. But mothers know everything. They
Yep.
know it.
They know
They know it.
it. They know it.
Intuition and
Yep.
women in general, we know.
Yep. That's what I said. They know it. That's why I say so. That's why I say nurturing. I say pure. Pure. That it's pure love. The ocean. I say ocean because if you ever looked at the ocean from far out, it's beautiful. It's just it's beautiful. So it just whew, and but women without the women, there'll be no us. So to the ladies out there, thank you truly. Thank y'all for being y'all and continue to be y'all.
And that vessel, the life goes through the woman. She births, and I told one of my guests this, women birth the world.
Yeah,
And our mothers are literally the salt of the
yeah.
earth. They are Mother Nature.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important that we remember that and we cherish our mothers. And I use the analogy of the black diamond. The black diamond is the toughest of diamonds to cut. Our mothers literally are black diamonds. They're unbreakable. That bond between a mother and her child is unbreakable, or a father and their child is unbreakable. Fathers protect, they rule with an iron fist. And when you said what you said about your son and having to be stern, that's for a lot of boys growing up. They need that because they don't want to, you don't want them to turn in that wrong direction
Yeah,
and go down that path.
yeah.
And so my father was the same exact way. He ruled with an iron fist. And that's what it is. He put the fear of God in us. And
Okay.
and look how we turned out to be now.
Yep.
It's taught us to be able to fight and stand up for what we believe in as well. And then as far as our mothers being the salt of the earth, that nurturing spirit, like if you fall and scraped your knee, fell off the bicycle or whatever, what would a mother do? Let me kiss the boo-boo, let me put a band-aid over it. She would nurture you, she would calm you and reassure you that everything is all right. So we need our mothers. Again, my mother and me had a conversation not too long ago. We was talking about what's going on in the world. And she said, I got your back. That right there is written in stone. When a mother
Oh,
says, I have your back,
yep.
I I believe in you, you believe in me. That's me and my mom are
Absolutely.
very, very, very close, and we look so much alike. And sometimes I'll have to catch myself, like I said, because I'll be doing certain things, and it'll remind people of her.
Mm-hmm.
It'll remind people of her. Or my grandmother will catch it, or my brother will catch it and be like, you just like your mother. You just like your mother. Because I can, when I'm standing firm on something or I believe in something, I want you to do well. I don't give up easily. And one thing she told
No,
us is don't give up. Never let
no, no,
anything defeat you.
no. A- Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And even if it do defeat you, you better come out with scratches, bruises. You done gave it all you got to the point where, okay, you know, because whatever you do, don't give up though. Whatever you do, don't give up. That's the key though. Like don't give up. But sometimes things don't work out. It don't. But when I say, if, like me, if I give up, I'm about to have a black eye. I'm limping. I'm collapsing. There's something wrong. If I give up, because I ain't stopping. I'm not stopping. I'm gonna keep going. I keep going.
That's what
Yeah.
it's about. That resilience,
Mhm.
keeping going
Yeah.
and pushing on. And I want all of you to
Absolutely.
be encouraged today that are watching this conversation as we come to our close. This is an hour. We did an hour long conversation. I'm pretty sure that this is an
I
hour long interview. Yes.
like
So
this. I love this conversation, dude, because I didn't even know an hour passed.
yes, but we've been on for a minute. It is actually close to 6 o'clock. It's 5:46 p.m. If you're in South Carolina, if you're in the Carolinas, down here. Yes. So
Yeah.
before we come to our close, I do this with all of my guests. Now, my guests get to interview me in a segment I like to call Turn the Tables. So, this is for my guests, for my newest viewers out here. You get to find out a little bit about me through the questions. So, we're going to do something called Turn the Tables. And I'm going to pass it on down to Marcus here. Marcus is going to ask me as many questions he wants to know. And the viewers, you'll find out a little bit about me through his questions. All right? Take it away, Marcus.
All right. Question number one. When you interview Vanessa Williams, that's what how that was. Like, what was the first thing came across you with when you see those eyes and that smile saying hey to you?
That's exactly what she said. Y'all see. And she just celebrated a birthday. Wow. My heart was beating through my chest, literally outside my
Yeah,
body. When she popped up on that screen, I introduced her. It was like everything is fine. I was nervous. You guys couldn't really tell, but the interview went so well. But I was nervous. I'm just like, oh God, what if I mess up? What if I don't get this right? Because I always do research before every interview, practice, rehearse everything before every interview coming on. And when she popped up and she said, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm sitting up top, glammed up, hair, makeup, everything.
yeah,
And she came on fresh faced, no makeup, beautiful as ever. This woman, I remember seeing her music videos
mhm,
all over BET,
yep,
seeing her on what was the magazine, Sophisticate's Black
mhm,
Hair. I have almost every cover of her on it. You seen the interview, I pulled it out for her. And I'm just like, this is my idol. This woman is
yeah,
such an inspiration to so many people. And she's so humble, so sweet.
yeah,
It's just like talking to an old friend. Like how we're doing this interview now, it's like talking to an old
yeah,
friend. With her, it was the same effect. But I was nervous, Marcus. And
yeah,
I don't know how I did it. God must have swarmed down and put some sort of extra something inside of me to make me
yeah.
execute that
Ah,
interview and nail it. That is one
yeah.
of the biggest interviews I've ever had, and people still to this day talk about that
Mhm.
interview and how
Okay, you
great I
did
did. But I was
good.
like, no, no, I was nervous. I
Yeah,
was
like, you
nervous,
did
and I didn't
good.
want to
Yeah, you
mess.
did good now. But when I saw it, when you sent that to me and I popped up, I'm like, "Is that sweet?" I said, oh yeah, I gotta ask something about this. I gotta ask something about this. Um, Next question is, um, do you still visit South Carolina a lot?
I'm born and raised in South Carolina. I'm actually in South Carolina, and my brother's in Charleston, Myrtle Beach. So what's crazy is he served in the military. My uncle served in the military, and he's in Charleston, so he's like right down an hour driving distance from me. So
All
it
right.
shouldn't take him long.
Yeah.
Orangeburg is 25 minutes away from me. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. And last question is, who you interviewing next again?
Who do I have on next? Well, you guys have to stay tuned. Monday we have Dax E. Richardson. Um, and we have, yes, that I'm gonna sip a look. Go ahead. I'm gonna drop a hint for the next one that is coming up. It won't be next month, but it's coming up later down the line. It'll be in the fall sometime.
Okay.
Um, a huge celebrity makeup artist, and this man has touched the faces of some of the world's most beautiful women, and he is on one of the hottest talk shows now. So I'll give you a hint that he's a nominated award makeup artist, and that's all I can say. That's all I can say. So you guys just have to stay tuned, and I look forward to having him on. So you guys just have to stay tuned. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. A lot of great things, and I must say that we have officially completed my birthday month bookings. Bookings are
Oh wow.
full for October, so we're booked all the way up until October. I have so many great things up my sleeve. So you guys
Absolutely.
just have to stay tuned. Watch the platform. And also, this makes interview 768, I want to say. 68. Yesterday was 767. Today
Look,
makes 768. So we are on the road to 800. Working hard.
clap on that.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's more blessings to come for me. And I'm just putting it out there in the universe that if you believe, if you put it out there, God will make it happen and it will persevere for you. Let me check real quick. Let me make sure. So I know the exact number. It's 768. Today makes interview 768. I'm looking at my
768.
channel now.
Ooh, boy.
And I see y'all subscribing. So thank y'all. Thank y'all so
Yep.
much. Thank y'all.
Hey, that's a lot. That's a lot of faces that you saw. You saw 768 people. Good God.
And it's more to come. It's
There's
more to come. I'm so
more to
thankful
come. Yep,
because I've
absolutely.
stayed and no sick days. No sick days, y'all. No sick days. Consecutively Monday through Friday. And a lot of people can vouch for that. Pure Lux will tell you, the viewers that tune in every day on a daily, Monday through Friday, will tell you she's live every day, Monday through Friday. Yes, and if some days I'm not live, that means I've taken a break. An interview was canceled, but I come right back that next day, and that interview counts right along with it. So this one right here was an hour long, and it makes 768. So great conversation.
So,
The conversation is so good.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 'Cause I ain't think an hour passed.
When I post it, you'll see it. I'm gonna send you the link. Every day,
Okay.
tip for tat. Thank you, Al, for vouching for me, because
Yep.
I do it every day, and I've been consecutive with it. You have to be consistent.
Yeah,
You have to
most
be
definitely.
consistent.
Most definitely. Most
Just
definitely.
see, that was mom. You finished, Stevie? On the way, just about, mom. But yes, final thought, Marcus. What are some gems that you would give to people to take away in 2025 with them? Because we touched on a number of things, from pain, experience, loss.
You
We touched on a number of things in this conversation. What is the key thing that you want people to remember going into this year?
just people get ready. Just get ready, get prepared. Um, as you know, Trump in the White House. You don't know. I don't know. I'm not a politic person,
And I'm
but I know.
deeply politically engaged. That's why I
Yeah,
made
that's
that
what I
piece,
think.
because y'all
Yeah,
know how I feel
yeah,
about him.
but yeah, but by me seeing eggs $9, people get ready. People get ready. But besides that though, oh man, just keep following your dreams. Like I said, do some soul searching, man. Like get back to you. Get back to you. You know, you can be a father, you can be a mother. I mean, that's something that we have to be every day. That's not gonna change. But you still gotta get back to you. Because if you don't have it for yourself, how you gonna get it? How you gonna give it to somebody else? You know, if you're not happy with yourself, how you gonna be happy? How you gonna make somebody else happy? Let's see. That's my son right there. So what's up, Dad? Yep. But
Welcome, 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 welcome. Soul searching. And
yeah, man.
today's final thought comes from Geraldine Brooks. She says this: you go on. You set one foot in front of the other, and if a thin voice cries out somewhere behind you, you pretend not to hear and keep going. Keep going. There's going to be voices out here that are going to be distracting you. It's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
distractions, as Marcus mentioned, with this administration. What they're doing is they're wanting to flood the zone. They're wanting us to be worn down and beat down and tired. But the key
Mm-hmm.
thing is to not to be distracted. Find
Yep.
your sole purpose.
Yep.
Because see, he might be an occupant of that White House, but
Yep.
there's only one king. He's not a king. The real king, the real president, is that
Yep.
man right
There.
up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real king. And my mother told me that. She said he can't get away with all the stuff he's doing. That the real king is God. We don't worship that king, but this is the king right here. That's the Alpha and the Omega. You can never overpower him. You play
Mm-hmm.
with it if you want to. He already done stumbled in that garbage truck. If y'all seen that video, you know. But yes, Rihanna
Yeah.
has a quote that goes like this. And she says, do not focus on the chaos, but focus on getting to the finish line. You're going to have to go through all of these obstacles, all of these hurdles, all of this, where he's rolling back DEI, he's doing all of these things to hurt us as black people. This here, let me tell you something. Black people, we are survivors, and it's in our DNA. It's in our
Mm-hmm.
ancestors' DNA, and our ancestors run through us. So when you might seem like you're defeated or feel like giving up, I want you all to be reminded that we have something in us that is so strong, so powerful, and it's hurting their pockets already, because we've seen the Target lost a lot of money. All these brands that rolled back lost a lot of money. I don't want to get too deep into that. You know, you guys know I stay politically engaged in how I feel about Trump. I voted for Kamala. So 92% crew, hello.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you all to be mindful and be vigilant, and know that it might seem like a dark cloud over your head today, but just know,
Mm-hmm.
through all of that, a phoenix rises from the ashes. And we are phoenixes. Black people, literally, We always find a way to reinvent ourselves. We always find a way to come up with ways to be creative and help our families and our communities. And I want everyone to be mindful of that. Your son works at Target. That's gonna be a tough one, Al. If he's working there, it's gonna be a tough one. It's just like, oh, how do I not? But some people can't participate in everything. I understand that. But
Mm-hmm.
find other black businesses to support. Like
Yeah.
support this beautiful black man that I had the pleasure of interviewing today, Marcus. Support his projects, support his films, support black filmmakers, support his music, support everything that he's doing. And I want you all to support other black platforms. My brother K2 spot. You've got Roland Martin. You've got Joyanne Reed. There's so many out here that we can be supporting and investing in.
Absolutely.
So form community and be mindful and vigilant. And that's what I want to see with. A little long-winded, but it needed
Yeah.
to be said. Because I know everybody's worried. They're just like, what do? We survive. Black people, we
That's
get
it.
up every day.
Yeah.
We survive. We
And we'll
find
be
our
a
joy
good
because
place.
they calling on us now to come
Yeah.
save
That's
them. And
it.
we try to tell you this man is dangerous. He is crazy.
Yeah.
But y'all didn't
And
listen. So what what did y'all want us to do about it? All we can do is just what we're doing now, and that's survive. And most importantly, find joy.
most
Find your
definitely.
joy. That
Most
man don't
definitely.
put no fear in my heart, not one way or the other. One of my somebody messaged me and said, "You scared?" I said, "No, I'm not scared. I'm scared of frogs, I'm scared of snakes, and I'm scared of spiders, but I'm not scared of the orange man. Not at all.
Yeah.
Because
I
just
ain't putting no
like
fear
he
in my
think
heart.
he's
Period.
running something, I can run. I can run something too. I'm challenging too. He don't scare
Yep.
me.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yep.
Marcus, let everyone know where they can follow you. I had such a great time. This
Most
was dope,
definitely.
and I would love to have you back on again.
Yeah.
And
Most definitely. Just let me know. Just let me know.
definitely,
Yep,
yes.
just let me know. But you can find me on Facebook, Marcus Middleton, Instagram at Marcus.Middleton official. Dot official. That's how you find me. I don't have no Twitter. I don't even get on Twitter.
Well,
Yeah, I
you
don't get
know,
on Twitter.
fashion
Yeah, I
knows.
don't get yeah,
X,
I don't get
yes, X, Twitter. A lot of people deactivated their pages. They not on there. I'm not even
yeah,
on there anymore either.
yeah, I
So,
don't get on Twitter. That thing too
yes.
complicated for me. I don't that, I call myself trying to write a post on Twitter. I ended up inboxing somebody. I was like, yeah, let me get off.
Yes.
Yeah, let me get off.
So I want you all again, be fabulous, be mindful, and make sure that you're going and checking out Marcus. Check him out. Please go and support his projects. Special thanks to Pure Luck Salon. Thank you, Al, Tit for Tat. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. And most importantly, make sure you guys are subscribed to Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube. Again, head on over and subscribe there right now. Hit that bell so you'll be notified when new interviews are uploaded. And this show will be uploaded, and also the look of the week. It was 4 different looks this week. So I will have that posted. Also, you can go and check out the lineup, which is pinned already. You guys can go and check it out and see who's coming on Monday. Daxie Richardson. I love you all. Take care. And y'all have a fabulous Friday. Take care, everyone.
All right, take it easy.